Okay, hello class. This is your art appreciation, and we will now tackle for the coverage of your semifinals, and we will start with the art of emerging Europe. Okay, this is the part one. So I hope you all listen, and of course, I hope you are doing well today. Okay, let me just share to you my screen. Okay, so art of emerging Europe. Okay, so art has been an integral part in European history. The European continent has an expansive history and is often regarded as the birthplace of Western civilization. European art history covers numerous stylistic periods and art movements that have been flourished across various regions for centuries. The concept of Western art history is of synonymous with European art. These strong Western artistic traditions eventually spread across the globe as communication with Asia, influencing many international art movement and styles. Okay, and for first here, also we're gonna talk again with ancient Greece. I know that you already have a basic knowledge about this one because it is connected with the last lesson that we had. Okay, so of course for the ancient Greece, the Greeks were known to excel in various fields and aspects and society. The Greeks were known to place prime importance in the use of reason. The development of Greek art also are divided to four. Okay, it's very important to note how important the ancient Greece is and how the influence of this civilization has impact to other civilization too. Okay, and of course for the ancient Greece, they are very well known also of how it was the center of education also because people way back then, the philosophers, they have different ideas that they want to share to other people. And also, it is important to note that again, the development of Greek art is divided into four periods. And if you can remember the last lesson that we have, there is no natural division periods of a certain uh, history that we learn. Okay, these are just being divided by the historians so that it will be easier for us to digest, to understand the meaning of these informations from different periods of the history. Okay, so let's tackle these four periods. First is we have the geometric period. It says here that the period when geometric shapes and patterns took the spotlight in the most of the artworks. One of the elements of arts, if you can remember, is the pattern, and or it is part of the principles of design. Okay, we're in for geometric period, the time when geometric patterns and motifs were used to create art, particularly on vases, and humans and animals figures are rare. But when they do appear, they are often depicted in stylized geometric form. The most common subject for geometric art was painting on vases. So we have an example here. But some sculpture and bronze cast also survive. Okay, so it's not just merely on vases. Okay, so these vases are can be called terracottas. Okay, and they are all terracottas, but some of the different in of course in how you just looked at them. Okay, and the center of geometric art was in Athens. Okay, vases were used for a variety of purposes including funerary vases and symposium vases. Okay, so again, seeing human and animals as an art is rare, but as you can see they are being portrayed and they appear are often depicted as stylized geometric form. Okay, so next is the archaic period, placed emphasis on human figures. In archaic period, a time for of transition from geometric period to the classical period. It is the emergence also of a more natural art styles with a focus of realism and life-like sculptures and pottery. Okay, so again, we have an example here. Sculptures are large, free-standing sculptures were carved from stone, often depicting young men and women. Okay, just like we have here an example. This is one of the famous sculptures during the archaic period. We have Carlos, which depicted nude men, and kore, which depicted cloth maiden. Okay, and of course, sculpture were carved from stone, and these are the most famous one that are being created. And new techniques for decorating pottery were also introduced during this time. Okay, so yan, another examples for archaic period. And also, again, another form of faces are being developed also, and including red figure and dark figure. So if we observe, no, the vases that are being used, usually they make use of red and dark color also. And for architecture, Doric order of temples dominated the townscape in many central and southern Greek cities. Okay, so again, they also made use of demonic symbols also for their arts. Okay, and third is the classical period. During this time, when the Greek rebuilt their temples and focused on creating artworks. It is also important to note that during the classical period, they considered a high point in ancient Greek art. The art of this period is known for its idealized beauty, harmony, and proportion, and is considered the foundation of Western art. Artists emphasize idealized proportions and mathematical formulas in their work. Marble was used for the first time to create sensual studies of the female body. Mythology was used to memorialize historical events, glorify and convey political themes. Okay, so again, this is the first time that they made use of marble also in their art. Okay, and Paternon. Well, now you're familiar with Paternon. This is the iconic temple dedicated to Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Okay, so these are just examples of the arts during the classical period. So as you can see, there is also jewelry there, accessories that are made of gold. Okay, so again, this is from the classical period, and as you can see, still they are creating vases, but there are, kumbaga, when you take a look at the design of it, may pagkakaiba pa rin siya. Mas nagiging detailed, kumbaga, yung mga arts na nakikita natin as time goes by. Okay? And we have the Hellenistic period, wherein art was primarily focused on showcasing emotions and depicting reality. For Hellenistic period, style of art that was originated in the Greece. Okay, Hellenistic art is known for its realism, human emotion, and dynamic sculpture that invite the viewer to engage with the space. It also features a wider range of subjects, including the wounded, elderly, and the drama. Okay, so we have an example also of Laocoon and his sons. Okay, this is a masterpiece by Athenodoros, Sandros, and Polydoros of Rhodes. Okay, so during Hellenistic art, it is influenced by large area, and the Greco-Roman art that followed was largely continuation of Hellenistic trends. Okay, so the original statue of Laocoon and his sons, uh, has a complicated history of restoration. Okay, so basically, when work was discovered, Laocoon's right arm and the right hands of both of his sons were missing. So the image that I'm showing you now is a depiction how they recreated it as a whole. Okay, for the story of Laocoon and his sons, well, if you are familiar with Trojan Wars or the Trojan horse, in classical methodology, the priest Laocoon, because this one, okay, this is Laocoon, and he is considered as a priest. Okay, he warned his fellow Trojans against bringing into their city the wooden horse presented by the Greeks. But because of this, they said that again, this is the classical methodology class. This aroused the anger of the god Poseidon, who favored the Greek. Okay, that's why he let Laocoon and his sons be drawn by the snakes also. Okay, so that's the story of that. And of course, we are again going to tackle the ancient Rome. I know if you can remember the lesson no, about the ancient Rome, it says here also, let's just give some addition to that lesson. Okay, so ancient Rome, the Roman Republic was established around 500 BCE. This civilization eventually transformed into one of Western Europe's mightiest empires. Since they had expanded and covered many territories, okay, oh, they interacted with neighboring civilizations, particularly with Greeks. It can be said that Roman civilization came of age during the Hellenistic period, and ancient Greece had a huge impact in the formation of Roman culture. Roman art also encompasses a broad spectrum of media, including marble, painting, mosaic, gems, silver, bronze work, and terracottas. Okay? The city of Rome was considered also as the melting pot. When we talk about melting pot, this is a place where different people, styles, theories are mixed together. Okay, if you can, if you can remember, no, the how the ancient Greek or ancient Greece made a huge impact to Roman culture because the Romans way back then, they did not try again to eliminate the arts that they saw to the civilizations that they colonized. Okay, some of it they took the idea of it and then just develop it. Okay, so for them, they don't really they are not really that particular with originality, okay, because romans are they are practical people, and all the things that they do, it must be useful. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it did not originate to them, and basta it benefit their society, their civilization, they would take it and of course develop it so that they can use it more, okay, for more purposes. Okay, and we go with Middle Ages. As the term denotes, it is a period between the decline of the Roman Empire and the Renaissance. It was a period that is characterized by ignorance and darkness. The printing press came later after the Middle Ages, so copies of scriptures were done by hand. During this time, great cathedrals were also built. These cathedrals can be categorized into two. Okay, art on this period was often commissioned by the church and featured Christian art focused on biblical concepts, Catholic mythology, and human experience. And with this one, it says here that the printing press came later after the Middle Age. Okay, so I hope you. Well, when we talk about printing press, it was first created by uh, Johannes Gutenberg. So before Johannes Gutenberg, there was still a printing press. Yun nga lang, they created it hand by hand. Okay, so just imagine how time consuming it is to create a printing press so that you could just spread the copies of scriptures. That's why, uh, because of this, no, it limited the idea of Christians too. Okay, so usually kung sino yung priest nila, sino yung may copy lang, siya lang yung nakakaalam din ng iba't ibang kaalaman sa scripture. So, well, if we go back here in the present, it's so good na all of us can have our own copies because of the development of our society too. Okay, so again, printing press are just, if you take a look at this one, it was just done hand by hand until we have Johannes Gutenberg that tried to create a machine that would help in printing also the different, may it be books, may it be scriptures, may it be news also, it can be done by that. Okay, and we also have the two types of of course styles also of the churches done. Okay, so we have the Roman. This was inspired by old Roman Empire. Okay, so so you can see still, if you take a look at this one, the style of the church, this is the outside. If you take it as a whole, and this one is the inside. So still, from the inside, you can see some style that is being inspired by this Middle Age. Okay, so from Dark Ages, nakatuon sila sa kanilang architecture, sa kanilang mga art, sa design nila, sa beliefs sa Christianity. Okay, and one also of this is the Gothic, which had a more northern flavor from the Goths, Vulgar, and Barbarians. So I know you are familiar with Gothic style already. So there are a lot of churches, of buildings that are inspired by Gothic. Okay, so these are just some of the examples. Okay, next we go with the Renaissance art. Okay, so during this period, artists valued the individual as a subject of art. The influence of humanism shifted the focus of some artworks during the Renaissance period to empower the individual. Most artworks emphasize naturalism, which was also known or influence of humanism, since there was a great emphasis on the proportionality of the human body. Naturalism is a philosophical viewpoint according to which everything arises from natural properties and causes and supernatural or spiritual explanation are excluded or taunted. Okay, so from this Renaissance art, naturalism in Renaissance art was a style that emphasized realistic depiction of people and nature, as it was also a rejection of the idealized and romanticized art of previous periods. So again, when we talk about the Renaissance art, of course, it has something to do with being just natural. Okay, it is not it is an art that do not compromise with what is beauty. Okay, naturalism in Renaissance art was inspired in by the lifelike accuracy of classical sculpture, the quality that disappeared from artistic representation during the Dark and Middle Ages. Okay, and also from this one, no, they had during this time also there was also a revival of Roman theoretical plays. Okay, yes, please. Okay, so we have the House of Pompeii. This one also, this is very important evidence also, no, that would show how would people create murals and mosaic. And one of the famous part of this House of Pompeii is the Canem mosaic, cave Canem mosaic. Okay, it is translated as beware of the dog. Okay, so again, this is a part also of the House of Pompeii. Next, we have the mosaic of theatrical mast. Nakalagay din dito, no, ang Oslo's player. Usually, yung Oslo's player, they are the ones who play flutes. Okay, so with mosaic theatrical plays also, if you can see the woman there, of course, and the man there, they are somehow, their faces are being exaggerated. Because, well, when we talk about mask, diba, that's why usually when we talk about expression, all of us can hide their own emotions and feelings. But with theatrical plays, they would try to all these emotions, may it be in an exaggerated way. Okay, so well, that's it for the part one of our art of emergence in Europe, and make sure that you'll watch again next the part two of this lesson. That's it. Thank you and goodbye.